The Canadian Grand Prix has left us with more than enough to chat about. Of course, the main story was the collision between Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri, and there was some back and forth between Max Verstappen and George Russell after their antics behind the safety car. But something that has not been discussed as much is the drop-off in pace from McLaren. Well, in today's GPFans Special, we're diving into what happened to the MCL speed, or the lack thereof, in Montreal. Let's go. McLaren reported 3 upgrades to the FIA for the Canadian Grand Prix weekend. The new low-drag rear wing was a circuit-specific part that was flown in from Woking to make the MCL 39 more effective on the straights. A new front wing has been introduced as well. This design has entirely new geometry and should improve aero in a wide range of corners and angles. Finally, McLaren introduced a new front suspension. The team said this was only a minor upgrade, but one that was necessary to improve airflow on the entire car. Last time out in Spain, Technical Directive 018 took force. The FIA's testing methods for flexing front wings changed, as we've covered in past GPFans specials. People expected this to have a big impact, but for now at least, it doesn't appear at first glance to have changed things all that much. Zoom in though, and you'll see Piastri's pole time in Barcelona this year was 0.2 slower than Norris's time last year. In every race weekend before the Spanish Grand Prix, every pole time was quicker than in 2024. George Russell was the main man this weekend. In qualifying, he took pole position away from Piastri and Verstappen, beating them by 3 and 0.2 respectively. Norris even qualified down in 7th place. During the race, McLaren never challenged for the win either. Norris scrapped his way towards the podium places but ended in the wall after his crash, and Piastri's charge came too late to challenge Verstappen and Russell ahead. After the race, Piastri said McLaren only had pace when the tires started to fade, but would have needed 30 more laps to catch the leaders. Team principal Andrea Stella told motorsport.com on the upgrades that the MCL 39 has a tendency to feel, quote, numb, and that these updates are aimed to lessen that effect. He also remarks Norris struggles with this more, whereas Piastri can handle the effect a bit better. McLaren underlined they only made a tweak to the suspension's geometry that doesn't impact performance too much. Stella did say a lot of work's been done to improve rear grip in Canada, which is where most time was lost. Among others, Max Verstappen was surprised by McLaren's lack of pace in Montreal. Quote, I also think that this weekend, I wouldn't say an off weekend, but McLaren wasn't as strong as normal, and of course now we benefited a little bit. But I think if we go to all the different tracks now coming up, we definitely need more performance to even be close to them, you know. So this has been a good weekend for us, but we need to be able to fight with them for the whole season. The Circuit Gilles Villeneuve simply doesn't suit the MCL 39, and it is a pretty unique track that doesn't share characteristics with many others on the current F1 calendar. It's a track with a lot of straights and high-speed corners, neither of which are the car's strong suits. It could have just been an off weekend for McLaren, as it was the first race in 2025 that didn't have a papaya driver on the podium. After qualifying, Stella echoed the feeling that Canada is an outlier on the calendar and knew the race would be one about, quote, damage limitation for the team. Some pundits expect that it won't be until next week's race in Austria if we can see if TD018 has had a real effect on the grid and mainly McLaren, given that it's a very high-speed track that would have been ideal for flexing wings. But what do you think? Was Canada a one-off for McLaren, or will other teams actually challenge them, at least for the next few races? As always, leave your thoughts down below in the comments, but that's been it for this week's GPFans Special. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you in the very next one. Peace.